Hey everyone, it's Melissa. Today I am going to talk about glycolic acid. I really like to use glycolic acid, especially on my body. I was a sun worshiper in my teenage years and even in my 20s, using the baby oil and the iodine. So I ended up, over the years getting sun damage, getting the sunspots or age spots or whatever you want to call them on my arms and my legs and my chest and my back and just, all over my body. So I started doing some research to see what would help with that. And I discovered that a lot of people had had good luck with glycolic acid. Of course, hydroquinone is a really good product to use to reduce pigmentation and stuff like that, but it should not be used all over your body in large quantities or large amounts or anything like that. And some people feel like that you shouldn't use it long term. So I rejected that. I used hydroquinone on my face, but I did not want to use it over my whole body. So I had read that glycolic acid was a good source to be able to help with that, even more so maybe than a retinol. And I had gotten a retinol and tried it and wasn't pleased with the results. So I thought, well, let me try the glycolic acid. So I started out, I think I started out with just a regular alpha hydroxy acid. I think that was the brand name. And it didn't do much. It didn't fade them much or anything. It may have made my skin look a little softer or more even toned. So I started, searching around even more, and I found glycolic acid from Glytone. This is the Glytone exfoliating body lotion, and I have talked about it a lot. I love this, and over time, I really noticed a difference in the spots, the evenness of my skin, the overall fading of the spots and the freckles, and just making everything so much. Even Doug noticed it. He looked at my arm and said, "Oh my goodness, your arm just looks so smoother and clearer, and those, the spots are faded." And so I used it. I really liked it. Was very pleased with it. There were a few things that I thought were negatives about it, things that I would have liked to have tweaked. One of them was it stings when you put it on, especially, you can't put it on after you shaved your legs. You have to skip it. It just, until it dries, it just sort of gives a little bit of a stinging sensation. It wasn't anything that I couldn't stand or anything real too strong or anything, or it never caused any a little irritation or anything like that. It just it stung a little bit. Not always, just sometimes. And I would always use it after my shower, after I would exfoliate my skin. And another thing that bothered me was it took a while for it to dry. It seemed to stay kind of, sticky a little bit, and that bothered me. If I used it in the morning after a morning shower, then I would have to walk around and let it dry before I could put on my sunscreen. If I used it at night after a night shower, I would have to, kind of stand like that to let it dry. But it was worth it for me to get better results. So I thought, okay, glycolic acid works for me. So let's try another brand and see if I like it better. So I tried different ones, and I don't even now remember what they were, but pretty quickly my skin returned to the way it was. And I couldn't figure out why, because they would be high values of glycolic acid. So recently I tried another glycolic acid that was 15%. And so the Glytone exfoliating body lotion is 17.5. I thought, well, there's not a big difference in that, 15, 17.5. So, maybe this one, I felt the texture, ordered it and I felt the texture. I thought, oh, well, it dries a lot faster. And when I put it on, it didn't sting. I thought, well, I'm really going to like that. And that 2.5% is just not going to make any difference at all. Sure enough, within 10 days to 2 weeks, a good 10 days, the spots started coming back again. So I thought, I better look to see what's going on. So the one that I was using said glycolic acid, 15% body lotion. Okay, the Glytone says 17.5 free acid value. I thought that is something that's different, because the ingredients were both of them had the second ingredient as being glycolic acid, with the first one being water. So I figured they both had a high concentration of the glycolic acid. So I thought that free acid value has something to do with them. That means something. So I Googled, free acid value and glycolic acid, and the first thing I came up on was the Glytone website, and it says, Glytone is different. It says, what makes Glytone glycolic acid different than other glycolic acid lines? Glytone is different because we use free acid values as the amount of glycolic acid that comes in contact with the skin. So I thought, oh, for some reason, this free acid value number of 17.5 is different. It's coming in to contact with 17.5 glycolic acid over this 15% that is not coming into contact with the skin as much. So what does that mean? So I started looking around and how they determine. Now, I am not a scientist. I know that most of you out there are much smarter than I am. If I've got it all wrong, feel free to write it down below. But reading all morning on it, this is kind of what I've come up with my interpretation of what it means, because it was kind of complicated to me, because when I started YouTube, I didn't know there was going to be math involved or science involved, so, or I never would have started it, because I'm not good at those. But from what I'm understanding is they determined a free acid value by the other ingredients that are in that lotion and the pH value of it. So the lower the pH, the higher the free acid value is going to be. So, which is the efficiency of how it works in contact with your skin, from what I understand. So you may have a 15% body lotion, but if it's got the wrong pH in the rest of the ingredients, then you may only have a free acid value of 3. So it's not coming into the proper contact to do the proper work on your skin that you want it to do, which is fading, cell turnover, exfoliation, that type of thing. So I found online a way for you to be able to calculate what the free acid value is of products, or to look for products that have free acid value in it and say what the percentage is, because most of them do not. What they do is they take the percent of the pH of the product, and you may not always know what the pH of the lotion is. You just may not know. And then they do some kind of, you can put it into a kind of chart, and it figures out what the free acid value of it is. So I hope that makes sense. It was kind of an aha moment to me, because I thought all these acids that I've been using over the years that say maybe 10% glycolic acid or 12% glycolic acid, they may have that much in it, but the pH may be canceling part of it out, so that it's actually the efficiency of it is lower than the actual 12%, if that makes sense. I think it all depends on the pH of the product. So I think I have that right. I hope I do. This is what I've gathered. I'm not the smartest tack in the box. So take it, do your own research on free acid values. But so I'm going to go back to the Glycone exfoliating body lotion and stay with it unless I find a body lotion, a glycolic body lotion with a free acid value that's up around 17, something like that. Because evidently the 15 ones that I was using, that they were not the proper free acid value to be the most efficient for the percentage, if that makes sense. So I hope I've explained this okay. It was a little hard for me to understand, but I think the magic thing is to look at free acid values from what I'm reading about glycolic acids. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, if you know about these things more than I do. Like I said, I'm not very scientific, but I have been reading it all morning, and this is what I have found out. And I will put a link below on the article where I found how to determine what the free acid value of your glycolic is in your product. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a couple of days. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it wasn't confusing, and I hope I got it correct. So I'll talk to everyone soon, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.